Well, hello, hello. Good night or good morning, wherever you are. I didn't want to go to sleep tonight without bringing you your energy forecast for March. I know I've been a little busy and absent off of social media for a while, but this is way too important to wait until tomorrow. But do join me because I'm going to get back into giving you your weekly forecast with animals as messengers, and it's going to be a jam-packed week of lots of invitations to really support you in really accelerating your abundance codes. And if you're anything like me, maybe you've been feeling the acceleration of light waves as time seems to dissipate, and we're really starting to create from a whole new space of being with these beautiful quantum particulates as they create some disruptions in life. And I certainly felt that today. I couldn't get it connected to the internet when I wanted to bring you this transmission earlier, and the only way that I could do that was to push pause on the world as a myriad of emotions opened me so wide up, to just slow down and push pause on the world and dance in the rain. We had a beautiful rain shower here earlier, and wait for the internet to come back online. And looking back on some of the frustration that I felt today, the gift now that I can see is that it literally forced me to sit in my own silence and be with my emotions and be with the changes that have been coming and integrate them. Because as some of you know, I've been traveling since December, and so much has happened. I've had so many downloads, so many gifts from the whales and the land animals in Hawaii, and some incredible conscious creators that I've been spending time with. And I realized that I needed, and maybe you can relate to this if you're listening to this on the replay, give me a yes in the comments if you've also been finding yourself shaken up and perhaps not stirred as gently as you would like, so that you can really reintegrate and align yourself with the momentum and the clarity, so that you can release everything that's no longer serving you as things start to speed up more energetically. So big breath and just a big heart opening transmission of love and compassion to you and to myself as we take action on how we are wanting to co-create, as we continue to clear out a lot of these obstacles that I think the whole of 2018 was really about, was to really reclaim who we're being and where we're going in the world from this new abundance code that is very much based in the high frequency of love, and a whole lot of new resources that are available to us now to change our current version of reality. So if you have been finding yourself sick or confused or doubting, or what some people are calling ascension symptoms of headaches and maybe brain fog and body aches, know that you're not alone. Know that this is part of your transformation, and be willing to look at the shadow side of what you have been calling in. I really want you to breathe into that and just push pause for a moment and be present with these words, so that you can get into alignment and just know that you are completely supported. Just trust that the universe has your back. Because even though part of this process of alignment is feeling discomfort, of feeling emotions like sadness and irritability coming up in your physical body, and perhaps relationships falling apart. I've had 2 clients in the last 24 hours that are really bringing up a lot of courage and getting a lot of clarity as past relationships and futures that they had dreamt that we're going to be with these people have fallen apart, and they're now looking at who are they wanting to become in coming back to self-love and self-realization. So if you don't feel sure about things right now, or where you're going, or what your future holds, trust that you don't need to know the details right now. Just allow yourself to sit with that and let go and release anything and everything that is not congruent with you and where you're going. And this really brings me to, this very rare 333 arc that's happened today, where a culmination of all the energies and all the work, all the mastery that you have been practicing, right? Intuition is a muscle, but everything that you have been doing over the past 12 months is preparing you for this sacred journey into the realms of alchemy, of remembering that you are a magic maker and that we are being divinely guided by so many entities and energies and angelic realms. The Egyptian deity Thoth, which is a Metatron incarnation, is right there. There's been this activation in the great chamber of the pyramids, and this has been reflected up from the depths of the oceans by the whales, and on the exact Neolithic meridian lines opposite that, the elephants are holding the sacred grid for you to really stand in your truth and stand in your tribe in service, so that you can receive this powerful process of achieving your ascension, because we are passing through the stargates with Metatron in that same ritual of all the biogeometric codes. And this is something else that the whales and the elephants keep reminding me of, is that it's time to activate the sacred geometry, right? The ritual of an ascending phi spiral, that we are walking the spiral path together to enlightenment. So use the energies of this 333. The first one, there's 3 of them this year, in this month, that are the gateway opening to these universal libraries of quantum transformation. They're available for you. And under Metatron's loving guidance, under your own spirit animals, your angelic team, your team players, we are entering this multi-dimensional gateway to higher consciousness and this divine trinity of the Christed activations of 333. This is about body, mind, heart, and spirit. So be gentle on yourself as you begin to remember through the chambers of your heart, right? The giving and the receiving, that you are an alchemist. And you are capable of telepathy and transmutation and shape-shifting, transmogrification, all the trannies. They're available to you as you're coming online. We're literally coming online as our cells are up-leveling and becoming more crystalline. We're activating all of these etheric stargates and the spaces between the constructs of time as we know it. As we release these programmed fears and limitations that are not in our best interests, it's important to know that we're opening up these spaces to release all the programming and the distractor implants and the fears and the limitations that were assigned to you that aren't in your best interests. They were never yours to begin with. So be aware of these as you become more enlightened, more online. And ask, is this an appropriate truth? Is this an appropriate energy of who you are becoming? Is it for your highest, greatest good? And if you get a no, which you probably will, then put your energy into the world from a place of love. Judgment cannot exist when you are vibrating at this high frequency of love. And this is what the animals continually, patiently, and very generously keep reminding us. To stay in the highest vibration of love. You are love in a body. So remember that, and then take the steps that scare you. turn your fear into a space of, am I afraid or am I actually excited? Because your kidneys, as a physical organ in your body that generates healthy fear to move you toward what you are asking for and away from things that are dangerous, not things that you've made up in your mind. The consciousness of the kidneys is existential fear, and they don't really know the difference between fear and excitement. So it's a really good question to ask is, am I excited even though I might be slightly terrified? You have a choice to move into those lower vibrational frequencies of lack, limitation, scarcity, fear, or you can turn it around and use it as excitement to generate and move you forward toward what you are asking for. You know, I love Chinese medicine because it's just so beautiful in the climate of what we are experiencing inside is what we are then moving out as a gift or not a gift. In the seeds that we're planting now, we are the gardeners, we are the authorities of our own life. We get to rewrite our current story. So use that energy of the heart in your mastery. Follow your heart and you will always shift the outcomes of the world to one that is abundance and loving and benevolent. And that's the space where you get to claim your own sovereignty. So again, going back to walking the spiral path of the sacred geometric curl of phi, that thinking and spiral thought is focusing in a different way. It's shifting your perspective away from the fear, away from those low vibrations, and into the heart space of living wholeheartedness. That's where you start to change the DNA, and you're a Akash. And you've done it before. You're an alchemist. You've done this over all your lifetimes, remembering all those multidimensional pieces of you as one, as unity consciousness, as the I am presence that gets to contribute in the highest service from your heart-based business of being you, right? Being in your joy. So master everything that you can because you are playing an important role in creating peace and harmony with and of the earth. We are made of the earth. We are part of nature. We are animals. Listen to your soft-hearted animal body because that's where you're going to experience massive, massive change. You chose to be here and on this earth, of this earth, as a part of her, because you have something that nobody else has in the world, and you can influence others if you come from your heart space. And does it make sense that we cannot give love if we are not loving ourselves? If we don't care about ourselves, our physical bodies, if we don't pay attention and give compassion and inquiry to our thoughts and feelings, we can't care for others, and we certainly can't care for the earth. So remember where your heart is. Come back to your heart and trust that even if it doesn't ring true in your brain or your eyes or your ears right now, or when I am spelling into being through my words, trust that your heart always will, right? The heart brain is the brain that moves us toward all the peace and calm and love and abundance that we're actually asking for. So it's time to get out of this head. Employ your head, your mind, your brain to work for you. And direct that energy into your heart. There's no separation there. And when you start to step up beyond all the linear constructs of lower vibrational thoughts and feelings and emotions, and you start judging them as wrong, there's no mastery there. So love yourself into being, so that you can treat others with the same reverence and respect and honor as you walk through this new game of life, right? Think of it as a big, beautiful, and sometimes brutal adventure that we're all in together. It's just one big, messy, beautiful experience. And you are shedding the things that are no longer aligned to your highest calling just by choosing it. So this is not a time to abandon yourself. It's a time to get really, really clear. This is what March and this 333, right? This Holy Trinity is calling you into, is get clear on what it is that you want as things seem to break and fall apart from a man-made perspective. Then you can start to integrate the changes and tap into your psychic and intuitive visioning, right? Use your imagination, use your mind. Imagination is how we move things in from the etheric realms into this physical actualization. So go at the pace of your physical body, not at the pace of your mind, so that it can lead you to peace and calm and inner heartedness. It's a beautiful thing. Even when your mind may be telling you a totally different story that's leaving you feeling overwhelmed and confused and wanting to run for the hills like I did a few times today. And remember, intuition is a muscle. You have to use it consistently so that it can grow and become part of your everyday life. So when it gets intense, as your eyes start to be wide open and you want to close down and stay with the fear, with the confusion, just allow it to move through you by acknowledging, first of all, that it's there and what it is that you're feeling, so that you can release and let go of everything that is not true and light for you. And it may be a person, it could be an emotion, it could be an old business model, it could be the way that you are creating abundance or the lack of abundance in your life. And it could be an energy that you actually don't even have a name for yet, but you feel it deeply. So just give yourself permission for those old resistances and old controls and old programs to fall away. Fire all those demons that you've maybe called in to fight old battles for you. As the whale said to me, it's time to teach of joy and love and open-heartedness. We're done with trauma. We're done with telling the old stories. So even, remember this too, because even those, this is where the forgiveness part comes in, into the letting go. Even though you may have been betrayed or hurt by those that are very egocentric or narcissistic, just be compassionate for them in your inquiry, because their needs are not going to be met when you step up, when you say no. And they're going to try other ways to manipulate you. We're all being affected by this as a collective, as a human beingness that has an opportunity to come from a space of love. So if you're sensitive, if you're an empath, if you're intuitive, I know you're part of my tribe. Allow yourself to lean into what you want and make yourself your number one priority. Get very clear on what you want, what your needs are, what your desires are, and be willing to find the courage to ask for what you want. Don't get lost in others' wants and want-nots, so that you can have your own life experiences. It's time for that now, and that is the greatest way that you can be of service. And when you do, you'll see that other doors start to open up that you couldn't have seen before, because you were swimming in the drain pipe of other people's lack and scarcity and fear. So if you're triggered by what I'm saying, take a breath, because this is the time to be responsible for yourself so that you can respond to the needs of others from a place of truthful, heart-led beingness. By standing in your truth and adjusting your frequency, raising it up, you can come from a place of compassion and very healthy, fierce boundaries, right? That's when you start to step into your medicine by owning and claiming it, because you're clear on what it is. And if you feel a need for some support and this is resonating with you, say yes and book your 30 minutes, my eyes on your business, 30 minutes, intuitive, laser-focused magic. Alchemy happens in these sessions. The results speak for themselves. So if that is something that you want, if you're asking for support so that you can get clear and aligned in your service-based, heart-led business, if you're ready to kick your scarcity to the curb and step into your new abundance codes, PM me. Click the link below. I'm only offering this for the month of March, and I only have a few sessions available. It's only $111. And my private clients have invested thousands of dollars for my eyes on their business. So invest in yourself and let me help you activate your personal abundance codes. Invest in yourself and in the joy of business, right? J-O-B. It's not just on broke. Those days are finished. So kick your money fears to the curb. It's time to lead with love and joy in what you're doing as service. When you love what you do and you are in congruence with that, everything changes. It's time, my friends. So welcome to the 333 portal of alchemy, of cooperation, of mindful regard and collaboration, right? You have a tribe here. The days of trying to figure it out and do it all yourself are over. So click on the link below and I'll meet you there, where we're going to access your personal money codes, your frequency for abundance, and the joy that you know is possible in your business, which is to have fun and to play more and to laugh because you love what you're doing, right? So if that resonates with you, you know where to find me. So that's it. Join me tomorrow. Hi, Mary Branch and Mark Porteous and Mandy and Kelly. Great to see you here, Lorraine. So that's it. Thoughts, comments, questions, insights, commitments. Write your commitment that you're making to yourself as you move into March so that we can celebrate and honor and acknowledge you and cheer you on. And join me tomorrow for your animals as messengers. I've lost the words. They're just gone. I'm already seeing which animals are coming through. So if you want to know what your power animal is and you're ready to tap in and access the animal spirits, the animal totems that are going to support all of us through March, join me tomorrow. And if we have time, I'll be doing some private readings on that for you too. So post your comments and questions below, and good night, good morning, wherever you are, all my South African friends. I love you. See you on the other side. Bye.